Let's kick off with this idea of resilience and why we can't wing it anymore. Well, as I see it, there's a few big reasons for that. Okay. And the first one, well, let's start with the tantrums and chaos. Somebody famously said, tariffs is the most beautiful word in the English language. So I can't say that I necessarily agree. But anyway, when the new Trump administration came into office earlier in 2025, I think a lot of us overseas thought we were exempt. A lot of us in kind of professional services businesses like agencies and consultancies thought we were exempt. But the reality is, especially for those of us that are in kind of multi-entity organizations, is that the tariffs impacted our customers, the brands that have the products that need the expertise of an agency or a consultancy, right? So if those brands are impacted, their budgets get tighter or put on hold. And obviously that has a knock-on effect on the professional services businesses that serve them. So budgets got tighter, things got put on hold, the market was a bit spooked, right? So of course that puts negative pressure on our pipelines. The next big challenge, and I think this is a global thing, but I'm based here in the UK. So looking at that context, is that the economy has been puttering along for far too long. And if you are watching this and listening to this from further afield, you might recognize similar patterns. But we've gone in the UK from Brexit to COVID to a disastrous mini budget, if you know what that means, and at least six prime ministers in 9 years, right? And the economy is simply not as buoyant as we'd like it to be. On top of that, we've got things like the tariffs and the chaos and the uncertainty that comes with that. And then there's just global unrest and war, which is again impacting our clients and impacting the global economy. So again, budgets tighter and not business not flowing as much as we'd like. And of course, the big story that we can't ignore from the past few years is AI, right? It's hard to believe that GPT, at the time I'm recording this, is less than 3 years old. November 30th is when it was released to the public in 2022. It's hard to imagine how much has changed over the past few years in terms of the way we work, in the way we even seek advice in our personal lives, right? This has been absolutely transformative. There's also a lot of big questions in terms of what this means for the future of work. There's a lot of dramatized headlines, right, saying that we're all going to be out of jobs in a few years, or all of our businesses are going to be not necessary in a few years. Agencies and consultancies will have less purpose in a few years because everything will be able to be done through AI. I don't know if that's likely to happen, but that those are the kinds of things that we hear. And on top of that, there's always these questions around what this means for big agencies in the future. Are the smaller agencies going to become so much more productive and effective and able to do so much more that the big agencies are under a lot of pressure and there's no room for them anymore? I've also heard the opposite, that small agencies are going to go extinct, and what's going to be left are the big agency groups. I don't know what the answers to any of these questions are going to be, but the point is that our business models and methodologies are under pressure for reinvention, and margins are being impacted as well. Okay, so those are some of the reasons we can't wing it anymore. Well, things might have been good in the past, and we might have been able to rely on referrals and healthy margins. We can't rely on those things. It's not a guarantee any longer. So we need to be more in control of our businesses than ever before, and we need to be able to make decisions based on data, not gut feel, not on instinct, not on wishful thinking. It's just not the way to survive in the face of all these challenges that I've just mentioned.